This PowerPoint will look into the work of Federico Uribe. Federico started his art journey at the University of Los Andes, which is in Colombia, which is his home country. After that, he went to New York City to get his MFA, and he also studied in other countries to further his art knowledge. Currently, he lives in Miami, Florida, where he has a studio and works from that studio. His work is increasingly sought after all over the world, not just in Miami, where he's living now, or Colombia, but I believe that because he went to school in many different countries, that definitely helped him to find some common ground with people and just spread his art to more people. He has had solo exhibitions, collective exhibitions, awards, lectures, and publications all over the world, which is a huge positive for an artist. He explains his art as not really being stuck in one specific time or one specific genre necessarily. He primarily does it to make himself happy and to make other people happy, which I believe you can really see in his work. He also has a big focus on recycling and keeping the environment happy through that. He's also said that when he's starting a project, he has a rough idea of what he wants to do, but it's not super strict. He lets himself kind of flow with his ideas and create things that weren't exactly what he was originally planning, which is a very interesting and I think effective way to making art and creativity. Really likes to use materials that aren't normally used or seen as art materials, and especially ones that have a negative or a painful or an ugly connotation to them. He likes turning those into something that's beautiful and positive and kind of turn their what you think of them, turn that around in your mind. So on this left side, it's a sculpture made of syringes and bandages, which both connotate hurt and pain, as the title of this PowerPoint slide is. And then on the right, the panda bear is made of bullet shells, which is definitely a painful subject and not something you normally think along the lines of art and beauty and enjoyment as you can enjoy looking at this sculpture. This next slide is unusual. It kind of goes with the painful and ugly materials. He just enjoys finding different things, and I would say he's not a very normal artist, doesn't use super normal materials. And so this sculpture you can see is made up of nail clippers and fake red nails, which is super interesting. I love how these materials in real life work together and they have that connection. And then in the sculpture, the colors of them are so contrasting and they're just used in such a different way than they normally would be. This next slide, these pictures or the sculpture is from a collection called Once Upon a Time. And as I said before, he likes to use recycled materials and he's very conscious of the world around him. And so he had a quote where he said, most people tear down trees to make books, but he deconstructs books to make trees, which I thought was a really good quote. And this is one of the sculptures he was referring to in that quote, you can see I zoomed in on the top parts because those are full books, excuse me, and that makes the tree leaves. So I thought this was a very beautiful example of what he likes to do and how he expresses the importance of nature through his art. This next artwork is one of my favorites of his. It's called Plastic Reef, and again, the kind of overarching theme of it is recycling and the planet and taking care of the planet. He said that he first came up with this idea over 30 years ago when he first was really hearing about the ocean pollution. And then he finally just got the extra push, I guess, to move forward with it. And he started collecting plastics and just other things that obviously aren't good for the ocean and for our planet. And that's when he created this gorgeous piece. And this is just a little piece of it. It's actually a full exhibit type thing. It's like 3 walls and everything, and it's quite amazing. And I really think it's a good way to bring awareness to what is happening with ocean pollution, and it's awareness in a way that I feel like isn't too much just pushing it down your throat. Lastly, I want to talk about his versatility. The title of this is Fashion Designer because both of these suits he's wearing, he made, and he made them to go to his exhibits and his art shows and kind of him be part of the art that he makes, which I love. Just adding another element that some artists might not think about or want to do. And I really especially love this because, like I said, of his versatility. And personally, as an artist, I would love to strive to do this, to not hold myself back to just one aspect of art, but to be able to go into many different art medias. And in this, he is not only a sculptor um, and a fashion designer, but he also makes furniture and bedding and tablecloths. And it's just very inspiring and is an inspiration to me. And then